podcast called Living the Stream comes to you each week. Streaming recommendations during NFL season, it's not just tongue-in-cheek. Quarterback, defense, tight end recommendations based on opposition matchup. Here are your podcast hosts, JJ Zachariason and Denny Carter, living the stream.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living the Stream. I'm JJ Zachariason, the late-round quarterback, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Denny Carter. Denny, how's it going, buddy?
I am good. I'm not tilting because none of my Week 15 playoff matches were close one way or another, and I think that makes me different from you. If I am to, glean that information from the text message you sent me yesterday, which were the most tilted I think I've ever seen.
I don't think I've had a single island game this year where it went my way.
That's
I think it's been, and I know that people listen to the show and they're like, "Oh, here goes JJ ranting again about his teams or whatever." Guys, this was a top 5 bad beat probably in my career.
It's bad. Tell the folks.
So fortunately, there's some other, we'll get into all that. But so we're in this Apex League. We brought it up quite a bit, and I'm in the playoffs. I was playing against Matt Harmon. And by the way, on that team, I have AJ Brown and I also have Dallas Goedert. But I decided to bench Goddard for Theo Johnson which I think process-wise was okay. Like, I would have about it. Johnson had a great matchup against Washington, and I didn't want to rely on. I even think it's one of those decisions where even after the fact, I still think it was fine because Philadelphia threw the ball 18 times in that game.
I know. I mean, Goddard had 3 catches, right?
Yeah, like for me to sit here
touchdowns,
and for me to sit here and be mad that I benched 2 players from a team that threw the ball or would have started, or that I benched one of the 2 players on a team that threw the ball 18 times. I'm not mad about that. It was the reason I lost this game in the end, hypothetically. I mean, if you want to pinpoint a thing, but I should have won because this game, I needed going into Monday night. I had Jalen Waddle and I had Chris Boswell, right, and I needed 9 PPR points and I got 8.6.
See, I would have thought that you were just locked in to 9 points. I mean, I would think that the floor for those 2 was like 15.
You would think, and here's the other thing, which again, process wise, I'm not really that mad about it. I just did it because I just thought it was the right play. I dropped Harrison Butker for Boswell last week. And so to play Boswell instead of Butker, it's a coin flip type decision. So I can't really, it's just the coin went the wrong way. I lost some points from that. But Jalen Waddle had basically his worst outing of the year last week.
Yeah, that is a tough beat. The worst beat, maybe.
Yeah. And so I did not move on to the semis in that league. But look, man, you lose some, you win some. That's the way that you got to look at fantasy is that in that instance, I don't really care that much because I care. Don't get me wrong. I was pretty tilted for 24 hours.
I mean, I felt like
jugs were lost. Darnell Washington is still alive and well. So there were no jugs lost.
I mean, the tone of your text yesterday, I was a little worried.
Yeah.
About you.
I mean, look, it's not enjoyable to lose a game like that. Right. But it's also one of those things where hopefully my team just would have gotten smoked this week and then I don't have to tilt about it. I have another team that should have made the playoffs, would be dominating right now and is 100% going to win the champion or would have won the championship had it made the playoffs. And I missed it by 8 points. It's this random league. But again, you win some, you lose some. I'm sitting here saying all that, but meanwhile, Denny, I drafted only 11 Best Ball Mania teams on Underdog.
Yeah.
Okay? I did 150 on all my action was on DraftKings this year. I drafted only 11 Best Ball Mania teams, right? So then you have to get top 2 out of 12 in your league to advance. I advanced 2 of them, which is about expectation. Maybe it's technically slightly above expectation because I had 11 leagues, so 2 out of 11 is greater than 2 out of 12. And so I had 2 teams. One of them advanced to the semis.
Really?
One of them won the pod last week because I had Trevor Lawrence, Dallas Goedert, and Travis Etienne. And I can't sit here and tilt the Apex League if I get by on this very fortunate like Dallas Goddard game that helped me get through in best media. Like it's just the way that fantasy goes, especially when you're playing in a lot of leagues and you have a best ball stuff and so on. And so, yeah, it's tilting. Yeah, it's frustrating, but you're not going to win everything. And that's really the mindset I try to have this time of year.
You lost the Apex League, which we play for free.
Yeah.
But you could win $1 trillion on Underdog. So,
I mean, realistically, the EV of this lineup is more than what the payout would be for Apex. So,
okay.
For winning it. So, like, but I was actually having this conversation though with some friends earlier today. And I'm not trying to say this from a place of privilege or anything, but like for me personally, I play fantasy football so much just for pride. Like
you do. No, that's not a lie. Like I know folks who've listened to the show for a long time know that is true, but I can just confirm that like JJ cares about leagues and situations that sometimes I'm like, are you serious? Like,
yeah, I know
you're seriously tilting about this.
Like a random local league or something that is literally irrelevant in the grand scheme.
I mean, like I've learned that he is serious. I want to tell you real quick before we move on. One of the not close games last week was in the LTS Listeners League. My team really came on over the final month of the season. My guys woke up. I gave them a pep talk. They woke up. So here's my team from last week. All right, I have it right in front of me. My guy Jared Goff, 25 points.
There you
go. Jameson Williams, 26 points. Travion Henderson, 30 points. Let's see. Kenny Gainwell, 19.6. My guy Harrison Mavis, 12. The Philadelphia defense, 16. I'm rolling. I won this thing. No, wait, I didn't. Our guy Tom Everett Scott crushed me. 191 to 166.
Who did he have? Kyle Pitts?
Who do you think he had? He had Trevor Lawrence. Of course he had Trevor Lawrence.
Did he have Kyle Pitts too?
No.
But putting up 191 without Kyle Pitts last week, I was in just the dumpster, the bottom of the barrel mindset wise after that Thursday night game last week.
It was chaotic, man. That was crazy.
It was. I mean, I immediately lost one of my matchups that I did want to win. It was one of the two Kings Classic teams. I'm still alive in the other one, but it was my better team that got really unlucky at the end and lost a bye, and then I had to play, and then I faced Kyle Pitts. It was Andrew Cooper's team. But regardless of that, like I'm going through, and man, I faced Kyle Pitts in 75% of my pods and on Best Ball Mania. I had Kyle Pitts on only 3 of 40. I advanced 47 out of 150 milli teams on DraftKings, which is a great advance rate, right? Like I'm not going to be like, it's just a great advance rate, like objectively. And I only had Kyle Pitts on 3 of those teams. And it's so frustrating when an outlier performance like that happens. Obviously if you have him, a lot of that player, you're going to be really happy. But when you don't, man, it is so tilting. I had a very, very bad Thursday night and just a frustrating until. So fortunately, there were some of those really big performances like from Travion, Trevor Lawrence. I had so much Trevor Lawrence this year. I remember vividly because we're in that point of time of the season where I start to like think back on what takes were at the beginning of the season and the kind of content that I created or who anyone created and like the feedback that I would get on that content. And I did a bold predictions piece. I do it every year. And look, I do 15 bold predictions and you hope that 5 or 6 of them hit, right?
That'd be amazing if 5.
Yeah, right. And they're relatively bold. And one of them was that Trevor Lawrence was going to outscore Baker Mayfield this year. And it's happening. Yeah. It's happening. Like, but that was the one that got the most pushback because
really?
How is T? Because people hate Trevor Lawrence and he was terrible the first month of the season. He was horrible. And Baker was great to start the season. So it was like, well, that's an L.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. It's amazing but he was not good.
Yeah, but does it not feel that this season, again, I'm in this like very reflective state right now because we only have, the content that we're creating right now is hopefully helpful, but it's not nearly as important as it was in week 8, in week 9, in the middle of the season and stuff. Because we kind of know what's going on in the league right now. There's like, if it's like, okay, did you get Michael Carter? Cool. All right. Well, if you didn't, then that was the dude this week or Colby Parkinson or whoever. But I'm doing a lot of reflecting. I don't remember a fantasy season where there were so many like phases, like so many distinct, quarters of the season where the first quarter was dominated by X players, right? And then those players disappeared. Emeka Ibuka, Roma Dunze, Baker Mayfield, and then they don't do anything. Or the flip side happens. Travion Henderson, nothing. And then now all of a sudden he's a league winner, right? And it's like I don't remember there being a season where there have been these ebbs and flows the way that there have been this season. Even guys like a Patrick Mahomes was dominating to start the year and was looking really great. And then he gets Rashee Rice back and it's like, oh, they're unstoppable. No, there's so many of those instances where it's just been completely black and white. And we're not seeing the standard late season rookie surges that we often see from players. I mean, we are from Travion, like I said, but there's not a ton of them. And I don't remember seeing, this is someone said, to be fair, JJ called Henderson a league winner before the season started. Nothing like it's so, I know that I'm just kind of ranting and rambling right now, but I went on the Footballers show for their MVP show. And I talked about Travion Henderson as my fantasy MVP this year. And I took the L in like week 8, but no, we're never wrong. We're just early.
We're just early. Look, Mike Vrabel was saved from himself by the Ramondre Stevenson injury situation.
It's true.
And he had to go ahead and play like by far his best running back.
Yeah.
And now his best running back is helping keep an offensive flow that really doesn't have anybody.
Yeah. And I don't know. Do you feel that way too? That there's been these like, for instance, I had so much Travion that at one point I had to kind of make moves like in week 3, week 4-ish. And I had traded in my home league Travion and Ricky Pearsall for Rashee Rice, which ended up being a good win for me throughout the season. But now I'm sitting here, I'm like, I wish I had Travion Henderson in the semifinals instead of Rashee Rice, who's in concussion protocol now. But like, that's the way the season has gone. It's like you're on this high, and then all of a sudden you just get wiped out immediately.
I mean, here's another JMO. Absolutely.
JMO's a great example. Yeah.
Nothing for the first 10 weeks. And then bang, he's on
literal like 16 plus PPR points in like 7 of his last 8 or something like that.
Michael Wilson turns into TO.
Yeah, right.
What else? Tony Pollard. Domination.
The last couple weeks. Yeah.
And maybe in the final month of the season, out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Nothing. Let's be clear about Pollard. Nothing was percolating. There was no indication.
He was a drop. He should have been dropped in like week 11 in most leagues, like 10 or 12 team leagues.
But you should actually feel kind of bad if you still had him on your roster.
Yeah, right. It's one of those situations where like you can't beat yourself up if you drop Tony Pollard. He was useless.
No, in fact, you should tell the person in your league who had Tony Pollard on the roster this whole time, you're bad at fantasy and you got lucky.
Yeah, exactly. There's just a ton. Is there not like I don't know if it's going to be easy to measure this after the season, but I want to measure it. I want to see if this has been sort of like the highest variance season from a week to week standpoint that we've ever seen, because I also mentally don't remember having the roller coaster like this that I'm experiencing in fantasy, like in my own leagues and stuff.
Yeah, there's lots of roller coasters, lots of like, we know this is happening. We know how this offense operates, and it completely changes.
Yeah, like in an instant. It's just been so bizarre. And then we're experiencing it today. Tua goes down. Now you're like, okay, well, Darren Waller takes a big hit and Jalen Waddle takes a giant hit. And then you're like, well, Devon Achane last year was terrible with non-Tua quarterbacks. And everything just changes immediately, And I don't remember a season quite like this. And another player, George Pickens, last couple of weeks has been horrible. I
know. Right. He looks like the league winner. He looks like the most important player in fantasy for a while. And then I guess because of effort or whatnot, he stops being important.
And the worst part is like, I have him in a couple spots. I got to start him this week. You can't bench him.
No, you absolutely have to start him.
I do think that a lot of this stems from what I've talked about this on my show and to patrons and stuff, but when I do rankings each week at wide receiver, there are 8 of them and the rest of them are the same. There are only 8 good wide receivers, and then there's just a bunch of dudes. And when I say a bunch of dudes, there's like tiers of those dudes. Don't get me wrong, but like Devontae Smith with, I don't know, Lad McConkey with, some other, there's just a bunch of guys who are capable of these spiked weeks, but they all have floors of 2.5 points.
Yes,
Jalen Waddle, like, and I don't remember having such a difference making, like having that group be so difference making. If you drafted JSN, Puka, Drake London for a while, which is another example of someone who just fell off because of the injury and stuff. Mm-hmm. But Drake London for a while, you could argue like CeeDee Lamb and so on, and Devontae. If you have one of those guys, Nico is another one. If you have one of those like 8 guys, you have had a significant edge at the wide receiver spot, especially if you're starting 3 wideouts, maybe a flex and full PPR. Like, don't diminish how big of an edge that has been, because it's massive.
The league is passing at such a low rate that we actually have not seen that in our time playing fantasy. The drop off is significant. I think the general lack of NFL viable starters at quarterback has created a problem for receivers as well. Like, as far as volume goes, as far as quality of pass attempts goes, it's making this zero RB bro really rethink things for next year.
Yeah. Charles Sword says in chat, my league's prize pool goes to the owner with the most self-satisfaction.
Well, that's what we do.
I feel like it's what fantasy should be. Is just being able to grade how well people feel, and that's how that's how payouts should go.
Yeah. We need a way to measure that, the analytics of feeling good.
Yeah. Speaking of feeling good, last week, pretty good week overall, decent week. We had Aaron Rodgers put up 17, Marcus Mariota. Kind of disappointing for Mariota. He put up 15. I thought he could have had a better outing against the Giants.
Yeah.
That game was kind of just disappointing in general, I'd say.
Well, the Giants have decided that they want to go home.
Right.
And so they actually start, I'm not kidding, like the way they're playing, the Giants are just running out the clock from minute 1 of the game.
Right. And they're like, oh, well, I guess we'll try to win or try to do something. And then the final 8 minutes of the game is when Jackson Dart puts up 15 standard fantasy.
But they're so run heavy, it's actually destroying like the game environment in every game.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy, 23.5. Proud of that one. I have one of my close friends was texting me. He's like, dude, should I start JJ McCarthy or Caleb Williams? And I was like, or should I start Caleb Williams, or should I go to the waiver wire? I was like, send me a picture of your waiver wire. And then I told him to start JJ McCarthy. And
that's a bold call, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. By the way, okay, happy to see McCarthy come to life a little bit against 2 bad teams. I have to say that as a curmudgeon, as an old guy, I am so annoyed by this kid.
You do? How much do you hate JJ McCarthy?
I honestly, like the thing where he's like, on the play action naked boot for the touchdown.
Yeah.
He's doing that the gritty 5 yards before the guy on the screen. I'm like, you gotta bench him. You just have to bench him. Like, this kid is intolerable. I cannot stand him. Everything I see from him, he is the most annoying player I've ever seen in my life.
Did you see the Kevin O'Connell quote / the JJ McCarthy follow-up of,
no.
I guess KOC says that he told McCarthy did the gritty thing in practice, and KOC was like, no, none of that. Like, that's too much from a quarterback.
Really?
Yeah. Evidently, this is, I don't think it was a fake quote or anything. And then McCarthy responded and said that the coaches not liking it made him want to do it more.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely, kid. Have a seat on the pine.
Right. So I actually sent a tweet. I quote tweeted this. I didn't do it on Blue Sky because I didn't see it on Blue Sky. But I quote tweeted it and I said, the coaches should tell JJ McCarthy to miss his wide receivers.
Yeah, there you go.
Because then he'll be so mad that he'll actually hit them. He'll actually throw to them.
Look, I hope McCarthy's having fun against non-viable NFL defenses. I hope it's a good time, because he looks like shit. Like his throwing motion. I've never seen anything worse. Like, he barely knows how to play the quarterback position. He's going to do well this week against the Giants, another non-viable NFL defense.
I love these kind of takes from you.
But let's be real,
because this is when I can tell that you are actually your dad's son.
Oh yeah, no. And I don't want to fool the folks. Listen, I hate any expression of joy on the football field. I want you to know. Sure. Like, it's not about just him. Like, I want everybody to be Ricky Williams. I want them to score a touchdown, to give the ball to the ref, and to go get a cup of water on the sideline.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. I don't want these team thing. Every defense has to have a team-wide celebration after every interception, every fumble recovery. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in football. I cannot stand these displays of joy.
You are genuine.
I'm absolutely genuine.
Like you hated JMO racing Jahmyr Gibbs after JMO scored.
Oh, hated it.
You hated it.
In fact, when JMO scores, I turn it off because I can't deal with whatever's next. I can't deal because I mean this guy's gonna he's either gonna get a 15-yard penalty or get thrown out of the league after he scores a touchdown.
Yeah, Justin Hatmaker in chat says Denny would have thrived as a fantasy analyst in the 70s.
I think I would have. Listen, I'm telling you that this McCarthy kid is just so damn annoying.
You know why I know that you've got boomer football takes is because you call him this McCarthy kid.
Kid, he's 22 years old.
I know, but like that's what a 75-year-old man watching football would say. So, some yinzer watching a bad defensive play.
Yeah,
get him off the field. Get that kid off the field.
I liked what DK Metcalf did the other day. He went up to the fans and he's high-fiving them. You remember that after
you like that more? You like the interaction?
That's good. I like that.
How about my Steelers, by the way?
Your Steelers,
are we back?
Are looking kind of frightening.
Are we back?
I feel like you're all the way back. I feel like you're back to the point of I don't want to say it, but contenders.
I mean, look at the AFC. It's right. Crap.
So the Bills not good. Patriots.
I think I would put the Bills are they betting favorites right now in the AFC? I would assume.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah,
I'm sure they are. So Bills are not good. Patriots total fake contender, obviously.
Yeah.
Like a total fraudulent team.
The Broncos
frauds.
Big win last week though.
Frauds.
This is the only time of the week where on a show I can give real football takes and just be totally obnoxious about it.
Yeah, no, listen to that formula that doesn't work. Come on, the Broncos are bad. Jaguars frauds.
If the Chargers had a healthy O-line, I'd have them as the favorites, but I'm a Chargers sucker every year.
Oh my God, the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl.
No, they'll lose the Rams.
No, they're going to win. They're going to win.
If the Steelers if the Steelers win the Super Bowl, I will get Denny Carter's face tattooed on my body.
That is good. Clip this. Someone clip it. Also, this can't happen to me online because people will be asking me if I'm triggered about Aaron Rodgers forever.
Oh, right.
Forever.
They're not going to win the Super Bowl. That's what I mean. There's a 0% chance that I'm going to have your face on my body.
The politics of this are a nightmare for me. I just need everyone to know that.
But look, I'm giving you an out. I'm letting you enjoy something if they do win.
Okay. Wow.
I'm not telling you where it's going to be.
Oh, right on your butt cheek.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere that maybe my wife can only see.
Right. But the patrons can see it.
But I'll take a picture for the patrons. Right.
Oh.
No, I mean this could be the year though that the Steelers finally win a playoff game.
Oh, I think that's a good. There's a good chance of that.
What about Houston? This feels like the kind of year that Houston just does it.
Okay.
Houston, just because it's such a dumb again, lack of passing, not a lot of high scoring games and fun games. It's just a dumb year, and I feel like that would just be that's the recipe for Houston.
What about the NFC?
Oh, the NFC's got the Rams, man. The Rams are the most complete team in the NFL right now.
Is it just the Rams?
Philly's pretty good because they can play defense. The offense is still a mess.
Oh man, yeah, the Eagles are gonna muddle through. Yeah.
And then you got, the Lions, maybe. The Steelers are going to get smoked by the Lions this week.
Oh, no. Steelers are beating the Lions.
Steelers are beating the Lions in Detroit this week, you say?
Easily. It's not, yeah.
If the Steelers, okay. This is an L for Tom. This is a Tomlin L. Okay. I don't miss the Tomlin game.
All right. If you say so, you are on the Tomlin wavelength. So
yeah. But the Steelers can win the division and not even have to worry about the week 18 game against Baltimore if they win one of their next two. And next week they get Cleveland, which that would be probably a W. They get Cleveland next week because they already lost to Cleveland. So they get.
Oh wow.
They get. Remember they lost to Cincinnati. They didn't lose to Cleveland.
They didn't. Yeah. No.
Yeah. But they get Baltimore next, or they get Cleveland next week. Baltimore still has New England and Green Bay. They have to win both of those basically to have, a decent. As long as you assume the Steelers beat Cleveland.
Honestly, I'd rather see the Steelers in the playoffs What's the point of the Ravens making the playoffs?
The Steelers have the most boring brand of football I think I've ever watched on in my life. Like,
it's a lot less boring than it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, sure. But it's still, I mean, even that game against Miami, it's like, it's just your boy Kenneth. You just like it because you love Kenneth Gainwell.
I do like I have a weird thing about Gainwell.
He's been great though. I mean, he's been really awesome.
I also am intrigued by this like bit of like we're gonna have 10 of the biggest tight ends you've ever seen.
Yeah, like Darnell Washington's actually really fun to watch.
But also Connor Haywood or was that
Connor Hayward. Yeah, it's Cam's brother.
Yeah, right. I mean, having him doing the tush push with Washington pushing, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's just such a throwback type team. Right. But the problem is they don't have the smash math, as they would say in Pittsburgh. the smash math defense,
Has Arthur Smith ever had more fun than giving a toss to Jonnu Smith?
Oh my gosh. Arthur Smith went from 6 to midnight. Oh my God.
He was in his bag in the worst way possible against the Dolphins.
Yeah, the most obnoxious, just dumb Arthur Smith way imaginable.
Stupid. Oh my God.
That was dumb. Although, I mean, they scored, so we can't really call it that dumb. All right, let's get back to this. Bryce Young, 15 points. Tyler Shuck, 18 points. I really need the Panthers and Buccaneers to shoot out this week for best ball purposes.
All right, I like it.
All right. Tight end, Isaiah Likely, probably the most disappointing performance at tight end all year.
But only 12 passes.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't throw, and Likely ran more routes than Mark Andrews.
Which was what, 14?
I actually think we should have added Likely to this list this week. And I realized that we didn't.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
We probably should. I'm just gonna add him and we can just talk about it whenever we get to
I actually think I have him above the streamers.
Yeah, he's still out there in a ton of. He's out there in like 85% of leagues.
Oh, is he really? Oh.
Yeah. All right. Tight end, we had Isaiah Likely 0, Harold Fannin 12 on a 45% target share.
Good God.
Pat Freiermuth, we would have not played. I should remove Freiermuth because we wouldn't have played him. That was a if Darnell Washington's out kind of thing. But he scored 7.5. Evan Ingram 2.2, Mike Gesicki 2.1, which sucks. And then defense was either hit or miss. It was Chicago and Jacksonville 18 and 10, so they were great. And then San Francisco and Dallas were 0 and 1, so they were terrible.
Yeah, Dallas is. I didn't realize that the Cowboys had given up. So
yeah, I mean they're now they've given up.
No, they gave up at the start of that game. That's on me.
Quinnen Williams also got concussed in the middle of that game. Which
he did.
Yeah, and so I think that hurt. San Francisco, I think, was a bigger disappointment, even though that defense is porous. To let Tennessee do things against you is pretty rough.
What is going on there?
Yeah. All right, let's move on to week 16. Denny, kick things off with a quarterback.
Yeah. I need to pull up my notes. I have Tyler Shuck. We're back. We're back on the Shuck train. Shuck it. Let's go with it against the Jets. I mean, you saw what Trevor Lawrence looked like John Elway last week against the Jets. Saints have a 22-point implied total, which is really high for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it's not great like for a good offense, but 22 points is not bad. Jets allow the 9th highest adjusted yards per attempt and the 29th in quarterback pressure rate. So Shuck should have lots of time to operate. Since week 9, only Washington has allowed a higher dropback EPA than the Jets, and Shuck has 28 rushes over his past 4 games. So we have something of a rush-based floor.
And Devin Neal's banged up, so they might even rely on Shuck even more because, I really want Devin Neal to play, though. I don't think he will.
No, and he's not, no.
We'll go to JJ McCarthy. Giants are a top 10 matchup by adjusted points allowed. McCarthy, look, he's at least looked more competent in these like easier matchups because he was so incompetent earlier in the season. He's had his 2 best EPA per dropback games over the last 2 weeks, so that's good. They have a 23-point implied team total. I don't think it's as good of a sitch as last week where they get a slightly better matchup in a dome. This time they're on the road in New York. It's not as good, but I do think he works.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to smoke the Giants. Bryce Young against the Bucks, 45.5 point total for this game. Panthers are 3-point underdogs. Tampa Bay has allowed the second. They've been really bad. Like I
They're
know
bad.
we saw the Falcons expose them last week, but
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has allowed the second highest dropback success rate since week 10. Only Washington has been worse over that span. The Bucks have seen the fourth highest pass rate over expected this season, so they are a pass funnel. I mean, the Panthers, they try every week to be super run heavy, and in the right game script, I think they would be here. I just don't see them quite getting there, so we could see lots of dropbacks for Bryce.
Man, that sole BBM team that I made it through with out of my 11 drafts, that team has Trevor Lawrence, like I said, Trevor Lawrence, ETN, and Goddard, but all three of those guys are really heavily rostered because, obviously for them to have those blow up games, like teams won and they moved forward, right?
Oh, yeah.
But in my pod, I'm the only one with the Bryce Young, Tedero, McMillan stack, and I have a Bucky Irving bring back. So if that game shoots out in some way, I could be in really good shape. So I need that to be high scoring.
I mean, I think it's possible because of the Bucks defense being so bad.
Yeah, doesn't it seem like this week is just kind of blah? Like there's not like many games that's like super set up to be like incredibly high scoring.
No, right. I agree. I mean, Cardinals
Falcons, yeah.
is gonna, 47.5 point total. Give me a break with that. Like it needs to be like 55.
Yeah, but like you go down the list and there's not a single game, right? Or there's one game. The Steelers Lions is over 50. Oh, the Cowboys Commander. Or no, that's next week. Yeah, the Steelers Lions, the only game over 50.
I don't like Chargers Cowboys too much.
Yeah, I mean, like it's fine, right? Like
I guess Patriots Ravens.
You're probably, but yes, it's not like an incredible. Yeah.
Can I ask how in the world are the freaking Ravens favored over the Patriots?
Yeah, I mean, they played well last week, but I also, you keep talking about teams giving up. I feel like Joe Burrow just gave up on football.
Yeah, right. Emo Burrow.
Yeah, Emo Burrow. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where I think that a lot of people see New England as fraudulent because they've played such an easy schedule.
They have.
So, all right, another quarterback. You just talked about Bryce Young, so I'll go. Aaron Rodgers. This is one of the reasons why I think the Steelers could be in trouble. Okay. The Steelers target their running backs at the second highest rate in football. So we've seen only San Francisco has targeted their running backs more.
Right.
And they have Christian McCaffrey, and the Steelers have Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren.
Same thing.
So we know that we've watched this offense for 15 weeks now. We've seen them just dump off to the running backs constantly, right?
Right.
The Lions are top 5 in a bad way bottom 5 in adjusted target share allowed to running backs. And so to beat the Lions, you have to be really good in the intermediate and deep parts of the field. And I just don't think that Pittsburgh is well equipped to do that. And that's why I think Rodgers is fine because his game total is so high and they're probably going to be playing from behind and he's going to be forced to make these kind of throws. It just goes back to like, what if the Steelers had a legitimate number 2 wide receiver? We would feel so good about this offense, so much better about this offense. Right?
Oh man. Do they not?
Yeah. Right. And yeah, exactly. And so that's what scares me a little bit about this matchup, but like I'd play Bryce ahead of Aaron Rodgers and I'd play McCarthy over Aaron Rodgers, I think. And then I think I'd play Shuck over Aaron Rodgers this week.
I would not play Bryce over Rodgers, but I agree with the other two.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. I have Marcus Mariota against the Eagles. Washington, 6.5 point home dogs here against the Eagles. Commanders have. So I tried to like create like a scenario like in which the Commanders drop back and throw a lot, and that just doesn't seem to be the case. Commanders have the lowest pass rate in the league when trailing this season. It's like 53%. But Mariota has 10 rushes in each of his past 2 starts. Elite Eagles allow the second most quarterback rushing yards per game this season, trailing only the Giants. So I think Mariota can get there.
Deep play though, right? You'd call him a deep play?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super flex.
All right. Bryce, since you had Bryce under Rodgers, Bryce or Mariota?
Bryce.
Yeah. I got Bryce too. I want to shout out Kirk Cousins really quick.
Okay.
Because I think if Drake London goes, I actually like Kirk Cousins. Like I think that he's not a horrible play. They're playing in a dome. Atlanta has a 25 point implied team total. If Drake London's back, Arizona's given up a top 10 performance in 4 of their last 5 games. If Drake London's back, I think that Kirk Cousins could be the best streamer this week.
Yeah, you know, when we started talking about Kirk Cousins, I over text, I realized that this is such a good environment, and also Kirk Cousins. Let's just be honest here. He's clicked back into make money mode. Like, you know, he's going to get paid by somebody next year.
He needs to be Minnesota's starting quarterback next year.
I mean, he's going to be somebody's, like, he's going to be the Colts or whatever. I don't know. But, like, you know, he's 2 years. It took him 2 years to get over the Achilles, but he's back. And yeah, this game environment is insanely good.
Yeah, I have a super flex team where I'm between Cousins and Bryce Young, and I might just hedge because I know that I need Bryce Young in like other spots. I might just hedge and just play Cousins and just get some Cousins exposure.
Yeah. I actually would play Cousins over Bryce.
Do you think even if London doesn't play, you would do that?
Yes, because I don't know if it matters a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's fair. I think that I think I would feel just generally more confident about a floor with Cousins if London goes.
Yeah, definitely. But wow, I mean, first of all, the Cardinals' defense is so banged up they can barely field the team right now.
Right. Yeah, and it's in a dome. Like you just feel comfortable with that kind of like environment.
I mean, Jacoby's gonna cook.
Jacoby should cook. Yeah. Are you playing? I have another dilemma that I've been contemplating. This might sound crazy, but would you play? I have Drake May ahead of Jacoby, but would you play Brissett over Drake May this week?
I would. Okay, so with Drake May, I think you have a 20-point.
Like you're gonna get something, right?
You have 20 points locked in.
You're getting that with Jacoby too. He's been a QB1 every single start.
I totally agree. With Drake May, I don't think that you can assume that he can score more than like 23 fantasy points. So it's like between 20 and 23. But Jacoby is between 20 and 40.
Yeah.
So I lean Jacoby.
Look at you being a Brissett truther. I'm probably going to play Drake May because I don't think I could live with myself if I.
Yeah, that would be a tough one to stomach. You're right.
I'm a favorite, so hopefully it doesn't matter. All right, let's move on to tight end. Denny, why don't you kick things off?
Yeah. There's some pretty good ones this week. We'll talk about which ones we like more than others, but Evan Ingram against the Jags. The Jaguars are the most extreme pass funnel in the league this season. Tight ends are seeing 9 targets per game against the Jaguars. It's based mostly on the volume of dropbacks that you get against Jacksonville. Ingram's usage is not great. 55% route rate over the past 3 games. He's been targeted on 20% of his routes over those games. So you're going to need a spike in routes and play volume for the Broncos in order for Ingram to get there. It's a thin bet.
Yeah. I mean, it's a revenge game though for Evan Ingram.
Oh, yeah. Who could forget his time with the Broncos?
Let's go with the talk of the town right now, and that is what's going on in Miami. Darren Waller, 30% target share last week. Looked great. Obviously, found the end zone a couple times. The Bengals are the best matchup on paper for tight ends. They've allowed 9 PPR points per game to tight ends, to team tight ends over expected this year. The Steelers are the second best matchup, and they've allowed 4.3 points per game.
Wow.
So there's just such a massive delta there. But, I haven't updated my rankings since the quarterback change. I had Darren Waller at tight end 7 before, which I think you could have argued him up to like tight end 3 or 4, honestly, or sorry, 4, because Kyle Pitts was ahead of him. But now I would I think there's a conversation between like Waller or to Theo Johnson. I'm probably putting Waller at tight end 10 or 11 after this and putting him below Travis Kelce.
Tua, I mean, I'm on record as saying like the Dolphins need like a cold weather quarterback to bench Tua during the winter, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm not like a Tua fan, but like Quinn Ewers is way worse.
Like this could be really, really bad. It could be really bad.
I think you need to try not to play any Dolphins except for Waddle and Achane. That's it.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. But yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna have Waller as a low end 1, high end 2. I think.
Yeah.
In my rankings this week.
All right. I have Colston Loveland. I have him playing the Packers, but that's not right, is it? Yes.
Yeah, they're playing the Packers.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was looking at here. My notes are jumbled. Yes, playing the Packers. Packers. Okay, here's the downside here. Okay, Packers are a run funnel, have been for quite some time now. Bears are super run heavy by any metric. So I don't know if we're going to get the sort of drop back volume required to get Colston Loveland there for fantasy purposes. He has been targeted on 26% of his routes over his past 3 games. That trails only Luther Burden, who's been targeted on 31% of his routes.
Who's goated. Luther Burden's so good.
31% target per route run is pretty crazy.
Luther Burden right now has the 7th best yards per route run rate from a rookie wide receiver since 2011.
Really?
Yeah.
I do really like him, but the offensive environment is not good for someone like him to emerge, I don't think, right now.
Yeah, it's probably more of a 2026 thing than
Loveland's only running 56% of the routes. The tight end position is seeing 7.5 targets per game against Green Bay. I'm back and forth on Loveland, but I'd play him over Darren Waller.
Would you?
I think I would. Yeah.
I'm probably still Waller, but I get it. All right, let's go. I think the safest option is Colby Parkinson right now at this point. No Devontae Adams more than likely. Sounds like there might be some packages for him at the goal line or, in the red zone, but that would be a mess. I really hope they don't do that.
I didn't see that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I have Adams in spots. I'm like, just don't play him so I don't have to worry about what to do here. But Seattle's the 13th, has the 13th highest adjusted target share allowed to tight ends this year, and then the 8th highest adjusted points allowed to tight ends. Parkinson has 13.5 PPR points per game over his last 6. That's more than Brock Bowers during that time frame. But he hasn't seen higher than a 20% target share. And let me throw this idea out there.
You throw it.
I actually think the Devontae Adams injury is going to help Terrence Ferguson more than Colby Parkinson.
I kind of agree.
Terrence Ferguson had a 71% route share last week.
He led the team in routes.
It was better than Colby Parkinson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Terrence Ferguson, if you guys don't know much about him, he was a freaky athlete, and he's very much more of a Darren Waller type pass catching asset at tight end than he is an inline blocking tight end. And so my thought is they're going to use Devontae Adams is out. Terrence Ferguson could end up being sort of the de facto big bodied wide receiver 2 for them. They have Tutu Atwell and stuff, and they'll use him. I would not be surprised if Thursday night comes and it's 11:30 and people are tilting their faces off on Twitter because Terrence Ferguson outscores Colby Parkinson.
I could definitely see it. Now, am I starting Ferguson over Parkinson?
No, definitely not. But we speak in hypotheticals here.
That's what you like in your fantasy analysis, hypotheticals. No, we're saying that there is a path, right? Like there's a very clear path for Ferguson to be a thing with Adams out.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, I mean, this could apply to you if you're in a 14-team league and Parkinson's long gone and Ferguson's just sitting there and you're going, okay, do I start Darnell Washington this week or do I start Ferguson? I say go Ferguson.
Yeah. I think that you can chase that upside. And then 2 more really quickly. Theo Johnson, if he's still out there, I think he's okay. He's got a relatively high % roster number, but people might drop him. Minnesota's tough, but they're 19th in adjusted points allowed to tight ends. They're 30th at wide receivers, so you can target tight ends a little bit more against them. He's seen basically like a 20% target share or so, aside from last week with Jackson Dart, and he's seen some slot work. So 40 to 50% of his snaps, he's lined up in the slot, which isn't like an abnormal thing for tight ends or like pass catching tight ends. But Minnesota has seen the 6th highest adjusted target share allowed to slot receivers this year. So they stop it well because the defense is good. Minnesota's defense and secondary, like teams try to run on Minnesota, not throw against them. We saw that with Dallas last week. Like even Dallas couldn't move the ball through the air or move the ball that well through the air. I think Theo Johnson's fine. And then one more is Isaiah Likely, 9th best matchup by adjusted points allowed for New England, and Likely ran more routes than Mark Andrews last week, despite not seeing a target. So would it not be the most fantasy football thing of all time if Isaiah Likely just blows up the week after everyone was actually counting on him?
Yeah, no, it would be. And there's every reason to believe that'll happen.
Yeah. All right, let's move on very quickly to defense because we're already 45 minutes into this thing.
Wow.
New Orleans, they're at home. They're decent favorites. The Jets have an implied team total of 18. They're a good play. They also get Tennessee next week, so you might even be able to play them next week.
Vikings against the Giants. Minnesota is 3-point road favorite here. Giants have scored on only 34% of their drives this season. That's one of the lowest rates in the league. And the Giants are allowing the 5th highest pressure rate over expected. So we have a sack-based floor.
Also, I want to throw one out that we didn't even discuss, but I think we should throw Cincinnati out there as a.
Man.
So Cincinnati, over their last 4, they've been defense 9, 5, 17, and 10, and they're 4.5 point favorites now. So I actually like Cincinnati.
Yes. So we have the Dolphins before Tua was benched. We had the Dolphins as like a deep option.
Yeah, let's remove them.
Cut them. Put the Bengals in there.
Yeah, I like the 3: Minnesota, New Orleans, and Cincinnati.
Let's do it.
All right. So to recap, you got those 3 defenses: Evan Ingram, Theo Johnson, Isaiah Likely, Colby Parkinson / Terrence Ferguson in deep formats, Colson Loveland, Darren Waller, Kirk Cousins, Marcus Mariota, Bryce Young, Aaron Rodgers, Tyler Shuck, and JJ McCarthy. All right, Denny.
Yeah.
Some questions. We got some good ones this week on the Twitter machine.
Okay, I have some as well. Yep.
Okay. First question this week, as I pull this up. First question. This is from @SF_David Geo. What would be JJ's first purchase if he won the Millie or the strong side? The strong side is another contest that I'm in. So I have 5 Millie teams left. I have 1 BBM team left.
Okay.
And then I have 5 strong side teams, which is a $59 entry tournament. And there's only a 22 team final.
Really?
The winner gets $100K.
Ooh.
So if I can get one through, I'd have a 1 in 22 shot at $100K. I'll probably just do stuff to the house,
Are you serious? Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably.
You're such a dad.
I don't know. What else am I gonna? What do I need to buy?
You could buy a second golf cart.
I don't need to buy another. I don't have space for a second. I would totally get a second one if I had space.
You could buy a second golf cart, and then I will come down and we'll ride around together.
We'll have a Denny golf cart just for when you visit.
That's right. I mean, Don't be so selfish about your money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This next one actually is one that I'm questioning. This is from @Johnny F Ball Seed. Do you brush your teeth with your eyes opened or closed?
That's a funny one.
Why would anyone brush their teeth with their eyes closed?
No. I have them open.
Yeah.
I mean, I got I'm looking in the mirror sometimes to make sure that I get the coffee stains and stuff. I mean, is that weird?
I don't. I mean, I'm just kind of doing it, and I'm going pee, and I'm doing other stuff while I'm brushing.
I've since our conversation actually, when we talked about how bad it is to be on our phones all the time, I stopped. I leave my phone somewhere else, in the living room.
You're present while you brush your teeth,
and I try to be meditative.
Yeah, is it working?
I like it. I kind of like it. Yeah.
I'm telling you what, I can't wait for the season to be over because I am going to leave my phone in places that I hopefully can't find it for 3 days.
You're going to post so not hard. It's crazy.
Do you know how much Roller Coaster Tycoon I'm about to play?
I don't know what that is.
Bro, you don't remember Roller Coaster Tycoon?
No.
You've never heard have you ever heard of Roller Coaster?
I've never heard those words combined.
Never heard of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Is it from the 90s or something?
It's like a 90s computer game where you build theme parks and you build roller coasters and you try to have the coolest and best park. And you do missions and stuff.
That sounds cool, but you're not playing that.
100%. I've been playing it like crazy.
The old the original
the OG one is on Switch, and I bought it and I've been playing it for the last probably.
Oh, it's on Switch. See, I'm okay. All right.
No, I'm not sitting on my computer doing it, but I play it instead of doom scrolling.
God, man, that's actually a great call.
I just sit on the couch, whenever I don't want to doom scroll on the couch, I will whip out the Switch, and play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Damn.
There's not as much. I have a Switch 2, the new one, and there's not as many amazing games out for it yet. And I got kind of bored with the new Mario Kart, so I just do it's very relaxing, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, so that new Mario Kart really flopped, right? Because everybody was really psyched about it, and then the second it came out, I stopped hearing about it.
Well, it's crazy because there's 20. You race against 24 people or 23 other people.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot, and so it's really. I've never played a game that has more equalizers in my life.
Oh, okay.
And that's what pisses me off because you know that I care deeply about. I'm competitive, and I don't want
you want the edge.
Yeah, I want there to be an edge. Like if you're good at something, you should be good at something.
Well, if you can secure the edge, that's good on you, and you should be rewarded. That's your thought process. But there's no edge to be had here.
Right. I don't think people. Yeah, I think that if you're working hard at finding an edge, you should be able to, flourish.
Yeah, like the first 9 blue shells. Okay, the 10th one, I had enough.
There's nothing more, and so there's also the way that their big selling point is that like there's a giant map, okay, and all of the courses are connected to one another, and so there's actually like a free roam, like you can just go around and just drive around and do different missions and stuff like that. And it's cool. It gets kind of boring after a little bit, but then you can go into races, and they have all these iterations of different like. So basically they'll connect like 6 tracks together, like 6 races in this environment, in this map. And there's like an elimination thing that they do where you start with 24, and then at the first checkpoint, 4 people get eliminated. So then you're only racing against 20 people, and then you're racing against 16. And it's cool. It's very fun. And I've won a couple times, but it's also just, like you'll be cruising in first, and then all of a sudden you're boom, because there's so many people, and all of a sudden you're in 21st.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're never safe, is what you're saying.
A little bit tilting from that standpoint. All right, next one.
Yeah. I have. Can I read one here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, Charles Sword, friend of the show, supporter of the show, patron, says, according to my research, do your own research. He says the in-laws in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation arrived 10 days before Christmas. What is the length of time for family to stay during Christmas, and from what day to what day? Now, Charles, I'm glad you mentioned this. I watched this movie with my son the other day for the first time. He's a Zoomer, so he didn't think it was funny because Zoomers don't understand humor. But he, so I remember seeing that Clark Griswold at some point goes to the calendar, the Advent calendar, right? Christmas calendar. And you see how far out they are from actual Christmas Day. And I actually had that thought just the other day. My God, these people are here early.
Yeah.
It's too early.
Yeah. I caught the end of it last night on TV. I was just kind of like relaxing at the end of the day. Yeah. And after my live stream for patrons. And I caught the end of it, and I'm like, man, I need to just like sit, and I haven't sat and watched it yet this year.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so like even the end, like even just like the chaos that goes on when the police start storming the house and stuff. Yeah. And yeah, it's just good.
So to answer your question, I honestly think like the day before Christmas Eve is a good time to start the family coming over.
The distance depends. It depends on the distance of where.
Yeah.
So like my in-laws are coming on on Friday, and they're leaving right after Christmas. So they'll be here like a week. If it's a week and a half, it's a little bit much.
A week is stretching.
But it's an 8-hour drive, 7-hour drive. It's not a super. But the real reason they're coming is because CJ's birthday is on Saturday.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, by the way, my son Xavier turns 13 today.
That means that this podcast is about 13 years old.
It is. It's almost exactly 13.
Yeah. Tell Xavier I said happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you have a teenager.
I know. Does
that I remember whenever there's certain ages where you do actually feel that transition to being this next in this next phase of your life. Do you feel like genuinely old now that you have a teenager?
Yeah, I mean, I've felt old for a few years now, but like, yeah, knowing that he's like on the verge of high school, I'm like, hold up, man, like when did this happen? Like he'll be in 8th grade next year, and I'm like, wait, I thought he was like in like 3rd grade like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyway,
I'm still Avery being in 2nd grade. I still feel like she's little. It hasn't been too bad yet.
Yeah, it accelerates. I feel like there's like an acceleration around like 5th grade where it's like bang,
and like
they're grown up.
Like pseudo puberty starts to happen and stuff like that. And like they learn about the birds and the bees. And sorry to the kids.
Sorry to the kids. Yeah. Rich, patron friend of the show, says, I love when I'm able to help a stranger spontaneously. Do you have a recent good deed that made you feel good knowing you improved somebody's day? Remember, size doesn't matter. To which Reg Kim, our friend, said, the kids.
I don't know. Do you have one?
Well, not off the top of my head, but
I don't do good things apparently.
I was going to mention my meals on wheels route that I do on Thursdays has been especially rewarding lately because folks, it's Christmas time and people like to see, a younger person come and talk with them and stuff. So that's been cool. But last night I actually, there was a guy who did a good deed for me, right? I go to Xavier's baseball practice, and we're indoors, and then like 5 minutes into it, a guy comes in, he goes, "Hey, does anyone have a Kia Sedona in here?" And I said, "I have a Kia Sedona." And he said, "Your interior light is on." Ooh. And I said, "Wow, thank you," because it's god awful cold here. If I would have gone out, my battery would have been dead. I would have been in the death tilt.
Yeah, that would have been rough. But yeah, I forgot that we do. There's a charity around here called Bags of Hope, and you go grocery shop for people and buy. We do a couple of them. We just buy double of everything, and you just give them so that they can have food for Christmas.
As Bill Murray said at the end of Scrooge, when he's giving his little spiel on live TV, right? He said, if you do things for people, you're gonna like it, and you're gonna get greedy for it. And I love that because it's true. It actually is true. You actually, if you do it enough, you actually do get greedy for it. You're like, I want that feeling back.
Yeah. By the way, I had Joey Wright on Perspectives a couple weeks ago, and he said his favorite Christmas movie was Scrooged.
Ooh,
at least one of them.
It's such a good one. I watched that. So my mother-in-law's Christmas party, her like big Christmas bash, was on Saturday night.
Yeah,
and I left that intoxicated around 11:30, and went home and put on Scrooge and watched it until I no longer was conscious. So,
this next question, I'm gonna try to find one that's here's one. Eric Belair, who we have not heard from in a long time. Yeah. Am I getting old? I can't wait for Denny's response to this because I feel like there's a really strong reaction that's about to come. Am I getting old, or are car headlights now unnecessarily bright?
Too bright. Too bright. Too bright. Listen. I think you all know my politics, but I will vote for anybody who dims the lights on car headlights. Ridiculous. Like I should not be blinded by every single car that comes at me on the road. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. What is going on there? That was not the case when we were younger.
No. And don't get me, it's safe. It's not safe because I can't see. I can't see when it's coming right at me.
You know what you're supposed to do is look to the right. Look at the line. Look at the line on the road on the right when that happens.
Are you
or the left if you're in a country that drives on the other side of the road?
Okay, you're saying this. Is this something that you have heard, or
I took driver's ed, bro? I know.
That's what I'm asking. Is this actual like best practice?
This is a best practice thing, is that when it's similar to like if you're in fog, you don't put your high beams on. You got to you just have your low beams on.
No, that is.
But yes, when you're driving and there's someone coming the other way and you all of a sudden there's like a 2-second period where you can't see anything. You're supposed to, someone said, I just close my eyes like when I'm brushing. Charles Sword said that. But no, as you're driving, you should look to the right because you will always be able to see the line on the side of the road, and you can drive your car based on that line, and then the car passes and then you can look straight again.
All right. I mean, but let's be real about what the modern headlight is. It's the brights. Like,
yeah, it's purposely trying to blind you.
It's just the brights on all the time.
Yeah. I remember we did so back in high school, my buddies and I used to do videos all the time, like just create really dumb videos.
Really?
Yeah, it was just like a fun little like, you know how like actors will say that they did that kind of thing back in the day. Like we did stupid skits and stuff like that. And one of the things that we did was, remember the show Pimp My Ride on MTV?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We did a parody of Pimp My Ride in high school, and it was, honestly, looking back, one of them was that we pimped out this car, and there were 3 things that stick out to me as to what we did to this car. One of them was that we put an Xbox in the wheel of the car.
What?
And so, because you know how Pimp My Ride, they just had the dumbest things, accessories that they would put to these cars. Right?
Oh, so this was intentionally like a parody.
Yeah, it was a parody. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was just the dumbest things that we could think of. So like even in the video, there's my car, my red Mercury Cougar that I drove in high school.
You
And
had a red Mercury Cougar.
and yeah, and there's you could just see the car. You could just see my Xbox sitting next to the wheel, like we put the Xbox in the wheel.
So good.
And then one of them was that we got we got this guy a friend in the trunk. So we opened up the trunk and there was just a friend in there for him to play with.
This is really funny.
And then the last one was that we had headlights that killed deer whenever there's a deer that's coming across the road.
JJ, this is like what? Wait, where are these?
Oh, there's no chance any of those are seeing the light of day.
That's fine. I mean, I don't blame you, but like that
was probably our best, like, funniest skit and stuff. It was like
it's still super creative and funny. See, this is what people used to do before the internet. They used to be creative.
Yeah, we would just run around in like costumes and stuff and just film the dumbest stuff, like
with a camcorder.
Yeah, I had like a digital camera that with my parents, and then we would just run around with it. And then my one buddy had another one. Like my one friend made a very random song during he's actually does improv today. Like he's still he's an improviser. And he made a song. He was like done with a class project in one of his like computer classes or something. And so he just opened GarageBand when GarageBand was very fresh.
Remember? It was very cool. Yeah. Like that.
He opened GarageBand and he made a song of just random words put together essentially. And we made a music video to it. In the music video, we couldn't film it all over one summer. And it spans like a 2-year period of when we finished high school and into college. And there's just all this footage. And it's really fun as like a time capsule for me to every once in a while just go watch it and remember it and see. Yeah, it's fun. It's awesome.
It's gonna be great.
I love having and I have some of the raw footage still of us just dicking around and like, like that to me is like, it's priceless because it
is priceless.
Remember all of these like great times, and they're still some of my best friends in the world.
Well, I know what you're saving in a fire. Then you're saving that.
Yes, saving. Well, it's all digitized now. Well, it was digitized then, but
is it also on your computer then?
Oh, I could send it out. I could blast it out right now on Twitter if I wanted to.
Do it. Hey,
zero chance I'd ever do that.
Do you hear that, everybody? He's posting it online.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's cool, something that I growing up and stuff. Like I would just try different things on my own like that all the time. Like just build different websites and like try different things. And I was terrible at like working for people. I had this conversation with my dad the other day. Terrible at like working for people, but I would always be just doing stuff on my own, which is why I don't think it's like that shocking that I ended up doing that with my career. It's just
right.
Kind of like, figuring out some weird job that I shouldn't have been able to figure out.
I think you should continue to make weird videos. This sounds very fun.
Look, the Pimp My Ride one, low key, very funny.
It's very funny. It sounds like an SNL. What is that thing? With not Adam Sandler, but the other guy on SNL. Did Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, Andy Samberg.
This sounds like an Andy Samberg.
Yeah. They were great with like he and his group did songs and stuff. But
I mean that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, we just would dick around and just make videos like this. Yes. And I was the one who always put them together. Yeah.
That's good stuff. I look forward to you posting it online.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone said Lonely Island. Yes.
Lonely Island.
Yeah. All right. That's it for today's show. Denny, let everyone know where they can find you.
You find me on the Blue Sky posting. And you can find all my work on Roto World. Check out the Roto World football show with me, Pat Daugherty, and Kyle Dvorak.
I'm on Twitter and Blue Sky at LateRoundQB. All my stuff over on LateRound.com. Big stuff happening in the offseason for Late Round Fantasy Football. Brandon Gadula is coming on board as a full-timer.
Very cool.
So we'll be doing a lot more content and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more to come with that business, and I'm really excited about, which is part of the reason why I think I'm anxious to kind of get the season done.
Right.
To kind of fresh start. I had a great year. It's just that I'm done with the anxiety of it all,
Aren't we all?
Too much tilting that's been going on.
Yes, we would like to get to a point where the anxiety is over. We'll see if we can get there.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you for listening to Living the Stream. We hope you enjoyed the internet podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes now. It won't take long, it's fast. For more fantasy football info, check out
LateRound.com and Roto World.
Hope you come back soon as we share about the teams and as we live in